This is Lab P4. This is the class data from Lab P2. We measured
The number of BBs it took to sink our straw to 4 centimeters below the water, 5 centimeters, 6 centimeters, 7 centimeters, and some had 8 and 9.
So we originally got this for our group, and then our group added all of the R's together. So this is our data that we're going to use for P4. Yeah.
So to find it, we're adding, for 4, we're going to add all of that together. We're going to divide it by the depth, which in this case is 4. Nope, never mind.
You divide it by the number of,
Centimeters.
yeah, by the, no, okay.
Oh, by the number of results? Should we start over?
By the number
Yeah,
of
start over.
results.
Wait,
Where are we going?
okay. So the designated depth that we wanted to sink it was 4. This is the data that we got. And this is the data that the class got all together. We're going to use this data for Lab P4.
We're going to add each of the group's data together and divide it by the number of results we have, which is 10, to get our average.
So, show this. Wait, no. Okay, wait. So what we're going to do is we're going to add all these up. 10, you can say, plus 10, plus 10, plus 8, plus 10, plus 8, plus 10, plus 10, plus 8, plus 9. And we get 93. So then what we're going to do with our 93, we're going to divide it by the depth. So 93,
We divide it by 10, which is the number of that.
really?
Abby, don't you divide it by all that?
Yeah, you take all of the results and you divide it by the number of results you have.
So
and
that
gives
in that
you the
case
average.
is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So
you're
you
gonna
divide 93 divided by 10, which is 93 divided by 10
Is
equals.
9.3.
So the average out of all this data would be 9.3.
So right here, we're gonna write
So this is our data sheet. This is the length.
length of straw below surface in centimeters.
So the average of the BBs from this sheet,
Is going to be 9.3 BBs.
So
but he said to round it, so we're going to put 9.
9.
Okay, so after you have that, you just keep doing it. So for 5, on the class data,
Oh, sorry.
the class data, it is 15 plus 15 plus 14 plus 14 plus 11 plus 12 plus 13 plus 13
14
plus 14
plus 12.
plus 12.
That equals.
And eventually you're going to end up getting these answers for averages for each of our centimeters of the depth of the straw.
Yeah, for the 5 we got 12.
6, we got 18. 7, 24. 8,
27, and 9, 31. So you're going to take that information and conduct the rest of the experiment.
Pause it.
Okay, so now we're going to find the mass of the straw, the rubber band, and the BBs.
in grams.
And so we are using these little things called BBs and a straw with a rubber band on it. And what we're going to do is we are going to follow what we have found as our average and put that many BBs in our straw with the rubber band at that designated depth.
Since what we want to do is 4, our average was 9. So we're going to put 9 BBs in the straw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, one more, and 9. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put it on the scale and we're gonna measure the mass.
And pray to God that it does not fall.
That's too heavy, so I'm gonna.
So we're gonna wait until the white line on the scale matches the white line at the 0. Now that it's centered, we can look at the scale and find out that our weight for the total straw with the BBs and the rubber band is going to be 1.1 grams.
So for the 9,
We're going to write 1.1, and if you want, you can put grams in it, but you've already set that up at the top of the table.
so same with the 5. For the 5, we already have 9 BBs. So 9, 10, 11, 12. Now we're gonna weigh it again.
So we're going to do the same exact procedure and use this again to find the weight of the overall experiment. Okay. So
This needs to
zeroed
be
out.
a little bit lighter. Yeah, that's good.
It's zeroed out at 1.1 grams. So that is our answer for the total mass.
1.4 grams.
Okay, so we're gonna call that 1.4 or 1.5. You can choose based on your own measurements.
And we're gonna do the same thing with 6. So we already have 12 in the straw. So we're gonna add 6 to 18.
6 to 12.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1 more, so we have 6. So
now-
all together for the depth, for the length of the straw below the surface, we have 18.
So now we're gonna weigh it for the 3rd time. And we are going to calculate the total mass. So we're going to start at 1.5 because we know that that is heavier than that because we had that before. So let's move it to 2.
We're making it a little bit lighter.
So we're at about 1.9 grams right now. And that seems to be zeroed out. So overall,
6, 18 is 1.9.
1.9 grams.
So now we're on to 7. We're gonna add from 18 to get to 24.
So this will be 19.
19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24.
So now we're gonna weigh it again,
Put it back to 0.
and we're gonna move it here and
2
forward.
because our last was 1.9.
So now we are at about 2.5 grams. And that is a little bit too heavy, so we'll take some of it off. So now we're at about 2.2 grams. And 2.2
And that
grams.
seems to be it.
So for length below the surface, we had 7. For quantity of BBs, the average from our class data was 24, and we found out that the mass of the entire thing was about 2.3 grams.
Okay, so now we only have 2 more. For the length of the straw before the surface, we got 8. For the quantity of BBs average, we got 27. So I'm going to add from 24 to get to 27. 4, 25, 26, 27, 27.
So now we are going to weigh it again. And we
Put it back
know
to
that it will be more than 2.3 grams. So we can assume that we can move it to about 3.9. And that's too heavy. No. Yep, that's too heavy. So we'll move it over.
A little bit too heavy. And we end up
at about 2.6 grams.
So now all we have is one more left. The length of straw below the surface is 9. The average of BBs we have is 31. So now I'm going to add from 27 to 31. 28, 29, 30, 31.
So now
So
we're
we're
going
gonna
to measure.
Measure the mass.
Whoops. So now we're going to measure the mass. And we know that it will be more than 2.6 grams, so we can move it to 3. So that's a little too heavy. So we are at about 2.9 grams right now. We're going to lighten it up a little bit.
It's 2.5.
And overall, we are getting about 2.8 grams overall. So that is our data chart.
It's all retro, man.
And we are going to be doing a graph off of this data chart also.
No!
Okay, so now we are going to take our data and we're going to contribute to class data. And then we're going to end up making a graph off of our chart.
This is what the class data is going to look like, and when we're done,
This will be
each
filled in.
team will have been filled out, and then we are going to make a graph.
Check Mr. Meyer's homework blog for further instructions.